dollar hair. There is still dollar hair at the store. You can still take the brush and comb it out and flare it out yourself, just like we used to do back in the day. Baby, you can still burn the ends of that hair, just like we used to do back in the day. So no, the price of some things haven't changed. It's your neediness, your need to be like everyone else that has you into some of the situations while you sit around broke. Because you don't want to just go to Walmart and get the, what was it, VO5. You don't want to go to the Dollar Tree and get the VO5. The same VO5 that used to clean your hair back in the day is the same VO5 that can clean your hair now, but you're so needy and greedy and you want to be like everybody else, and you'll pay for it. You will pay for it.
Hello, and welcome to another video. So in today's video, we are going to have a conversation about something that is very, I want to say out of my element, but I got in trouble, okay? I got in trouble. You about to get in trouble. We're going to get this thing all the way together. And I know it might seem as though lately I've been picking on people of color, Black women specifically, because this video we're going to talk about hair braiding. We're going to talk about hair and the outrageous prices and the outrageous amounts that we spend on hair. But I want you to take this into your situation. If you are not a woman of color, I want you to take this conversation into your situation if you do not spend a lot of money on hair. And perhaps you spend a lot of money on other things. I want you to know, I've said before, the Lord has told me to tell you before, especially this year, that the way that you're spending money is going to have to change. And oh, am I ever so gracious that every time I tell you one of those messages, He doesn't allow me to be a hypocrite and He checks me as well. Okay? So we're going to have a conversation here. I do have some notes behind me just because you know I'm long-winded. I have somewhere to be and I kind of want to stick to the point. But I want to say that this conversation was brought about by an experience that I had. You're going to hear a little bit about the experience later, but I have a lot to talk about as it relates to this topic. And like I said, I'm not picking on Black women. I'm just saying that if you just take a look, not everybody is spending $700 on hairstyles. Okay. Not everyone is spending that kind of money. Certain groups of people are. So if you feel picked on, perhaps you should change something. But I will not be I will be held accountable for the words that God tells me to tell you and I don't say. And then the words that He says, don't say nothing about it. And I go open in my mouth. So without further ado, let's get into this conversation. All right. So just a little backstory. I have went through countless hairstylists here in Houston, and this is not just a Houston conversation, but this is where I live, so I just want to talk about it. I've been through countless hairstylists over the year. Now, to paint a little picture for you, I'm the type of client that, let's say I booked my service 2 weeks ago. I used to pay for the service when I book it because I just want to get it out of the way. I don't ever want anyone to be in a situation where they're doing my hair and they're feel as though they're owed money. I just like to go ahead and pay and just get out of the way. It helps us with our budget. And it's just like you're not spending the money that you booked a service to spend, or canceling a service at the last minute because you no longer have the funds because you spent it on something else. I used to like to go ahead and just book the service. Honey, I quickly learned that that is the quickest way for you to get scammed. People would take my money and not give services. Just so many things happened to finally, my husband and I was like, honey, that's probably not the best way for you to go about getting your hair done. Okay, I know you could do that back in the day. Look, back home, you probably could do that. Girl, pay somebody like a month in advance for your hairstyles. You can't do that anymore. It's just not a thing. People are scammers. People lack integrity. And at the end of the day, you are the one coming out on the losing side because you fail to realize that everyone doesn't have the same integrity as it relates to people and dealing with people's money as you have. So I just want to paint that picture for you. I have sat in a lot of chairs, okay? And as I grew really in the things of God, and this is going to be, I know you think that we're just going to talk about hair here, but we're going to talk about a lot more, so bear with me. As I grew in the things of God, I really learned that you just can't sit in any type of environments. There's a certain environment that I would sit in and do anything, let alone getting my hair done. There's a certain environment that I would sit and mix and mingle in. I'm not just going to accept anything. I wasn't always that way. So I would sit, I remember one lady would braid my hair specifically, and I would just be watching some of the foulest things on TV, totally uncomfortable. But this was the environment that I had to get my hair braided. And I thought it was right to proceed in this type of environment. I remember, and we'll get to some of those experiences there, but I've witnessed a lot of things. And I have here on my notes, I witnessed social media turn stylists into sharks. So it went from, it's about the customers, it's about you having a good experience, it's about me sharing the fact that I know how to braid hair with you to I'm going to nickel and dime you for every single thing. Blow dry before you come was one of the big changes, and it was really annoying to me. And blow dry and wash your hair before you come was just really astonishing. So what I did to get around that is I found that if you went to the schools that you could get your hair washed, because they were trying to teach the people at the school how to wash hair and things like that. So it was a way to get around it. Honey, the schools have gotten so bad now, you can't even get a quality service at the school. So that's null and void as well. But taking away hair washing really became annoying to me. Pay to blow dry your hair really became annoying to me. I remember one time I did blow dry my hair, like I heat stretched it. And the lady who was braiding my hair was like, it's not enough. I'm gonna charge. She just like $20 and just pull out the blow dryer. Didn't give me the opportunity to say, well, I don't have $20. Well, I don't want to pay $20. I'll come back. Something like, she didn't give me, no. She said $20, pull out the blow dryer and start blow drying my hair. On hair that it was actually blow dried, but I blow dried it a day before I should have. So it wasn't as straight as it should have been, but it wasn't impossible to comb through. So it just, had I not had the $20 on me to pay her extra for the blow dry, that really would have rubbed me the wrong way as well. Deposits. I witnessed deposits. Now understand, because much like the first scenario that I mentioned, being the kind of customer that will go ahead and pay in advance, I realized there are other customers who they won't pay at all. They want a free service. They'll go say, oh, well, she made my braids different sizes and I'm gonna take some money. Like, I realize that there are people that do that, but I really believe that it should be on a case-by-case basis. And even further than that, I just believe that we're gonna have to do a whole rehauling of how we think about hair, how we get hair done, all that kind of stuff. We're gonna get into it. Leave your kids at home was another trend that I found to be very distressing. Now, we know that most of the people who go and get their hair done, these braids, especially with the prices, and we'll talk about that as well, at the prices, well, you telling me to keep my kids at home, you're also saying that I need to pay for childcare. You're saying that my children can't be with me. So we're also going back into the conversation that I had with you guys the other day about really taking the children away from the woman's life. Like, no, the children should be able to come with me. Yes, they should be able to behave themselves, and you can have that signage. I remember back in the day, you used to go into the hairdresser and they used to say, like, your kids need to be sitting down. Like, you stay with your kids, control the kids. They used to have signs like that. Well, people get offended when you say things like that, so I do understand it as well. But I witnessed this and I wasn't at all for it. And then fees that I can't even mention here. Fees that sometimes you don't even understand the fees, okay? Just fees added on top of already astronomical hair prices. I have witnessed social media turn braiders, turn hairstylers into sharks, and it's disgusting. And on top of all that, don't forget that while you pay all of these astronomical prices and you endure all these things, you are expected to have your style, to have your head, to have yourself on this person's social media platform to bring in the next customer so the next customer can go through all this all over again. I don't necessarily want to see my hairstyle posted on your booking platform. I don't necessarily want that. I've witnessed this becoming a thing where I'm sitting here all day long so that you can get the right angles, so that you can get the right parts, so that you can post them. It's annoying, but let's move on. Now I'm just going to get into a few stories here just to make this video a little lighthearted before we go into some other things. But just to paint a picture for you, I have been told that I have pretty dense hair. And I'm going to say I've been told, but I know this to be true too. There's just a lot of hair in a knot. Like, I don't have a big head, but I have a lot of hair in one space. Like, there's more than one follicle of hair coming out of, there's more than one hair follicle coming out of like one spot, if that makes any sense. So even though I've shaved the size of my hair, you know why I shaved the size of my hair? Not because I'm trying to be some rock star or something. I shaved the size of my hair because I got tired of dealing with the amount of hair. And even with the size of my head being shaved, I still have the amount of a full head of hair on my head. I am not being boastful because I have a daughter whose hair is not that way. She has not a lot of hair. She has long hair, but she has not a lot of hair throughout the spaces, if you know what I mean. So I realize everybody's hair is different. I do realize that when you go to pardoning my hair, I've sat here and I said that I had shaved sides. Maybe you've given me like a lower price, whatever, maybe not. Who knows? Who cares? That's up to you. And then you start pardoning, you realize you're gonna be here for a minute. Okay, I realize that. So before I start telling you these stories, that's the disclaimer I'm giving to the stylist, just to, I guess, lessen the blow. But let's talk about a few of these stories. So the first, and this is not even the first. This is kind of just going through some of the worst experiences I've had getting my hair braided. One of the girls, now my sister actually told me about this girl. It was her neighbor, and she's like, she could braid your hair. And I'm like, okay, cool. Price was right. Sis braided my hair the first time. She did take a little long, but it wasn't that bad. Okay, she braided my hair. We moved on. I wanted to get my hair braided again, and this time I had to go to work the next day. But I remember when she braided my hair the first time, like we were talking, it was good. It was just like, okay, I can do this again. Sis came eating some food, and she said, I have to go and shampoo my hair. I'll be back. Now, this is in the middle of my appointment. She was supposed to be at the appointment. She was late coming to my sister's home to braid my hair. She came eating food, and she said, I have to shampoo my hair. When she gets like middle way through my hair, and I don't even think it was middle way, sis stops completely and lays down on the bed. It's not her bed. It wasn't her bed. You're not hearing things. It was not her bed. Lays down on the bed. Sis lays down on the bed. And I'm like, what's going on? She said, I'm tired. In the middle of the hair appointment, the one that I'm paying for. She says, I'm tired. I said, you know what? I know you have a bit more, but can you just do some cornrows at the front? So I end up going from like getting knotless braids to cornrows because it was taking I had been there all day long. And I didn't like it, so I ended up taking it down. Not only did I still pay for it, not only did I help a sister out by telling her, you can change up the hairstyle, but I didn't like it, so I took it down. That was the first experience. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go and find like a braider who actually like does this. Like this is their business, okay? So I find this other lady. I began telling you guys about this other lady. The stuff that she had me watching on the TV screen was just totally foul, totally inappropriate. I did not like the environment. She was in, it was her and her wife, girlfriend. I don't know. It was just a lot going on. It was a lot of violence going on. It was too much for me. I didn't like it. Okay. The hairstyle I loved, but the more I came back for the appointments, the worse things got. To where she would start even taking smoke breaks in the middle of doing my hair. And one time, just because I'm kind, I thought to myself, like, I should ask her if she wants some food because I'm getting some food. I asked her if she wants some food. Sis sat down and ate the food without doing my hair. I was very confused, and the hairstyle was very rushed because she had something else to do. Perhaps the time that she spent eating the food, she could have been doing my hair. Sis rushed through that hairstyle, and guess what? The price did not shift. The price didn't shift because I brought her food, and the price didn't shift because she rushed through it. The price did not shift. Do you see a trend here? So I found this last stylist. No, this is the other one. So the other stylist I found, I was like, okay, I'm not going to do this. Let me find somebody else. This lady had very nice, I found her from social media. She had very nice, the parting was just pristine. There were such nice braids and they were decently priced. So it took 12 hours. Okay. There was another girl who came in and got her hair finished before mine. It took forever. And then I realized why the parting was so nice. On these social media posts. Well, she sat there and literally carved my scalp. Every time she put that knife, look, that knife, it wasn't a knife, that comb to my scalp. It literally felt like a steak knife. It was terrible. And I sat there, winced and flinched the whole time. I think I kept those braids in my hair for 3 days. They were so painful. Because, like I said, I have a lot of hair in small spaces. She took very small sections and braided them, and it was painful. So much so that very night that I got home, I had to begin to now these were knotless braids, baby. I had to begin to take out hair just so I could lay my head down. That's how painful it was. Yet, stylist still got paid. The stylist still got paid. The stylist didn't shave anything off of the price because the stylist took time to stop and talk on the phone, because the stylist took time to eat her food, because the stylist took all day and took away from my time. Despite the fact that she said it wasn't going to take that long, the price was still the same. And I still tipped her. Imagine that. Imagine the fool here being me. So I just wanted to paint for you those pictures as I talk to you about this last event that really, it was it for my hair braiding experience as a Black woman. No, we have one more. So after that bad experience, I said, you know what? I'm done with braids altogether. I'm going to go ahead and switch to getting sew-ins. Could be cheaper, right? More versatile, as if my hair isn't versatile enough. More versatile I want. I went on the same website, which is Style Seed, and I found a stylist who had all great reviews. I said, okay, I purchased the hair. The hair cost me $300. Don't get me, we're going to talk about the price of this hair in a second. The hair cost me $300, but my thought process was I'll be able to reuse this hair. Oh, no, not this hair I wouldn't have been able to reuse. The stylist comes not only late, not only does the stylist come late, and I mean significantly late. Not only does the stylist come late, the stylist comes to my home because it was a traveling appointment. So you can imagine that I paid a premium for this service. She comes to my home high. And I was about to turn her slap around. I was about to turn her slap around, but I was like, you know what? I've been waiting to get my hair done. I can't wait to get my hair done. The stylist then goes to give me a versatile sew-in with hair that is natural, hair that is not relaxed. Okay, I'm sorry, the people are outside cutting grass. Hair that is natural, hair that is not relaxed, and goes to give me some versatile vixen sew-in with most of my natural hair out. The hairstyle was, she saw this hairstyle. As she was doing this hairstyle, she saw that this was a mess. Yes, she proceeded, and I still tipped her. And half of the appointment was due up front. So she still proceeded, even though it was a hot mess. She didn't say, you know, this hair that you have doesn't match with your hair. What I'm doing does not go with your hair texture. She kept going. Girl, after that girl left, I went in the bathroom and looked at her hair, and immediately I took it down. It was terrible. So that led me to this next experience that I'm going to talk to you about today. Now, I don't want to upset anyone. However, I am here to tell the truth. Okay, I'm here to tell the truth. So this next time I say, you know what, I'm going to go back to the lady who used to braid my hair long ago. I've had many different braids by this lady, and the hairstyles, I like them. The experience, I would say, I'm not talking bad about anyone directly, but I would say the experience was just, it was okay. But this particular time, so you guys have seen me get my hair braided many times. This last time, I'll be honest in saying, the Holy Spirit convicted me about getting my hair braided. And I'm like, okay, Lord, I've made my last appointment. I'm just going to take this last appointment and I'll stop getting my hair braided. And the Lord reminds me that you actually know how to braid your own hair, because I braided my own hair. The last time I braided my own hair was the day before I went into the hospital for my scheduled C-section with Kennedy. So I braided my hair and my bonus daughter's hair, and I had never braided before. I never even tried to braid before. And you know, when that nesting instinct kicks in, baby, you start doing stuff that you have never done before. So I knew that I could do it. But for some reason, I just thought that it was necessary to continue to waste the Lord's resources, not mine, the resources that God had given me on a certain style that I wanted. Because let's be honest, when you first start braiding the hair, it's not as perfect as some of the stylists can get it. I can even braid other people's hair better than I can braid my own. So there is a sort of learning curve that you have to go through. But the Lord reminded me also that if you would have stuck to this thing 5 years ago, you would be better. Okay, the styles that you're paying for, you would be able to do it with that type of professionalism had you stuck to it, but you didn't stick to it. You walked away from it and you thought that somebody else could do it better. And I know some of you are going to look at me like, this girl is crazy. You put God in everything. I absolutely do, because God is in everything. So again, I say I felt very convicted about getting my hair braided this last time. And there was a particular event that happened that made me feel very weird about it, but I kind of ignored it. So I will tell you this. The new appointment came about. So I'd already made my appointment. What I would do is I would just kind of call, like I would text the lady and ask her, did she have any available appointments? If she had available appointments, she would let me know. I would schedule it. Our price had been the same price since I had been getting my hair braided with her. I've never heard anything different. Okay. And this time the price was the same even before I shaved my sides. And not only do I have the side shave, but I also tend to get very short braids, right? Like my goal was to get short braids. I asked her even the last time, could she make the braids shorter? And I was doing this because I realized even though my sides are shaved, I still have a lot of hair and I don't want to be sitting here all day. I just want the hair braided. I'm not like a perfectionist, okay? It's not about that for me. I just want the hair braided. And you can braid the hair. We can work this thing together, okay? You can braid the hair. Here's your money. Here's my hairstyle. That's it. So I scheduled the appointment. About 4 days, so the whole week of the appointment, I began, I know, crazy, to have dreams and visions about braiding hair. And I'm like, Lord, what's going on with this? About 4 days before I go and I get the braiding hair. So I start ordering the braiding hair. I ordered some braiding hair from Amazon because it had the colors that I wanted. And then I went to the hair store because sometimes, you just like to see the hair and see if they have different colors. So I went there as well. And that day I came home, I said, you know what? Just a press on my spirit. Tiffany to try to braid your hair. So I get down on the ground, I get the mirrors, I get the whole setup. And I'm like, Lord, if my husband was here to help me part this, I could actually do this, but I can't part this by myself like this. Now I did part it, but it was taking so much time that I didn't necessarily want to do it. My daughter comes to the back and she's like, oh, mommy, you're braiding your hair. And when I got up from doing all that, sis said, what happened to the braids? What happened to you braiding your hair? And I felt convicted again. I feel like your daughter's even watching you fail to do this. Your daughter's even watching you not be able to do this small task for yourself. What kind of example are you showing her? And I told her, I said, mommy's going to try again later. I had no intention on trying again later. I had every intention on going get my hair done. And in the middle of that, I was making a video for you guys about at-home self-care. I had every intention on telling you I was going to get my hair braided. I had no intentions on braiding my hair myself. None. So the next day, my husband, when I wake up in the morning, he's like, here's the cash to get your hair done. And then you can give her this $20 tip. And I thought to myself, already feeling convicted, already hearing, what the Lord is saying about me spending too much money getting my hair done and other things as it relates to the appointment. And I said, no, honey, I already have her tip. It's $10. I have a $10 tip for her set aside. And he's like, no, we should give her a bit more. And I was like, the last experience, I always give her a $10 tip. And even when the experience isn't top notch, I still give her a tip. I'm not going to give her a $20 tip. So the days passed by. I believe this point we're 1 day away from the hair appointment. And the night before, I have another dream regarding getting my hair braided. And I'm like, okay, Lord, I cry out to the Lord. I think it was on like day 2. I cry out to the Lord and I say, like, Lord, if you don't want me to do this, you have the authority to stop me. I'm listening. Your servant is listening to what it is that you have to say regarding every area of my life. I don't care. If you say no, it will be no. If you say wear my hair, I will wear my hair. If you say braid it myself, I will braid it myself. If you say don't spend this money, I will not spend this money, because I've now realized that even the smallest things, there are repercussions. There are consequences for actions. And this one could be great. This person has my hair, my DNA. So if I disobey the Lord and go into an appointment, who knows what could happen? And you take that where you will.
Excuse me, the microphone went out and I'm glad I looked down at it because we're going to do a lot of talking, okay? Who knows what could happen? So the day before the appointment, I'm laying in the bed, just relaxing. And the lady texts me and says, hey, just checking to see if we're still on for tomorrow. And I say, yes, ma'am, we're still on. Because, we had already settled the money thing. I had already decided this will probably be my last hair appointment because of what the Lord told me as it relates to getting my hair done. I had already decided it's going to be the last appointment. Okay. The lady messaged me like that and I'm like, okay, yep. This is normal for her to call to confirm. I expect for her to confirm because I had scheduled the appointment so far in advance that it was, confirming is okay to make sure that everything is situated. And as soon as I say, yes, ma'am, she says, oh, by the way, the price has changed and it was a $30 price increase due to inflation. And it totally rubbed me the wrong way. And I said, okay. I took some time, I talked to my husband, but I'm telling you what the Lord had already been speaking about the specific environment, about the specific appointment, about the money. And then this situation right here, it was a clear indicator of it's time to wrap this thing up, girl. So I responded back to her, my husband already took out the cash, which he did. And I'll go ahead and I'll have to reschedule it. I'll cancel it. It's no worries. I completely understand. She then turns around and says, oh no, I'm so sorry. I know it was last minute. I know it was last minute. Just go ahead, come on in. You can still get your hair done. And just next time, just know that it's $30. And I said, no, it's okay. I understand. And thank you so much. I won't be rescheduling again, but I want to say this. Some people would have taken that opportunity and just went ahead and rescheduled. Say, hey, she's going to do my hair for the $100 that she used to do my hair for. Keep it like that. But I never want someone to feel as though they're doing something for me that they're not being compensated accordingly for. The price increase wasn't the problem. Like I said, the problem was not only what the Lord was saying to me, which is enough, but also the fact that the inconsiderate nature of just simply telling someone that you're going to change the price a day before the appointment. And I recently made a purchase that would lead somebody to believe perhaps that I have more money to give. So it was a well-rounded conclusion that I have come to. But you don't just try to siphon money out of people just because you think that they have it. And let me tell you even further that, remember, my husband said, let's give a $20 tip. So $120 was going to be the service even with the tip. $110 was going to be how much I was going to pay even with the tip that I was going to give. So you only would have been losing $20. And then it would have been an appropriate time to say something about it. But greed, mammon, if you will, lead you. You will be on the losing end. And I think that's a message not only for this story that I'm telling you about, but it's a message for the season. You call yourself being greedy, you will be on the losing end. You will lose out on customers. You will be losing money left and right. It will seem as though you have holes in your pocket. It will seem as though your bank account is being tapped, that so much money is coming out of your bank account because of your greed, because you're operating in the spirit of mammon. Okay. And I will not say that I didn't know some of the things before. I did know some of them, but it's not something that I need to act on until God says to act on it. And you know what this also made me realize? That even the small things about your life, God is concerned about. If you're concerned about it, if you bring those concerns to him, even if you don't, he's concerned about them. But if you bring those concerns to him, he will reveal to you the truth about every single area in your life. There's a lot of people, you're just simply broke. You're broke and you still want to do the things as if you're not broke. And you haven't consulted God about your finances at all. When you're out there spending all that money, when you're out there spending thousands of dollars on hair and nails and all this kind of stuff, you are not consulting God at all about your finances. But the moment that you get broke, you think that it's the appropriate time to cry out to God. And I'm telling you, it's not so. It's not going to happen that way. It's not going to happen that way. So like I said, I have braided my hair before. The first time was for my bonus star. The braids that I have right now, you have to go watch that video. I actually braided them myself. And honestly, I'm really proud of myself. It gave me the push that I needed. Like, I can do anything. I can do anything. I don't have to spend money. I don't have to put myself in environments that are less than safe and less than my moral compass agrees with just to get my hair done. Yes, it takes a little extra time for you to do it yourself. It really didn't take me that long, but it takes extra time to do it by yourself, especially if you don't have someone helping to part your hair and all that kind of stuff. But it's possible. These braids are pretty long, okay? And I could have made them longer if I wanted to. Guess what? With no extra cost. Well, my husband said, honey, for free. You did it for the low. The only thing you had to pay for was the hair. And guess what? I only used 2 packs of hair. How many braiders have you went to say 6 packs of hair and you end up spending like $40 on the hair? I only use 2 packs of hair. So you can tailor it to your needs. Now, this is not a video about learning how to braid hair, but I will say it's going to take you some time. It's something that you've never done before. Okay. But if you have hair and you always have braids, I want you to look at how much money you're spending on this and ask yourself, are you being wise with your resources? And I have some prices here. So braids, I usually get my hair done about 7 times a year at $100. That's $700. The hair usually costs about $30 because of all these packs these stylists want. So 7 times 30, 210. The hairstyling, the hair, the tips, and you always buy on lunch when you go get your hair done because it takes so long. So and lunch and gas for that time. So you're spending $1,120 per year on your hair. And you might say that's not that much money, but this is a very low end. This is very, very low end. I'm telling you, you spend so much more money, especially, if you get your hair braided, it's not that cheap. $100 is a steal, and you probably looking at me crazy as to say, why are you complaining about spending $100? You hear why I'm complaining about it. You hear why I'm complaining? Because I could technically do it for free. I could technically just buy the hair and do it. But instead of the stylist really just being grateful, sitting in a place of gratitude that someone is taking their money instead of learning how to do it themselves, they're taking their money and they're giving it to you. We've turned to greed instead. So let's talk about if the price was just, raised a bit. Well, first, let's talk about this. So a lot of women, especially Black women, you're actually outsourcing your daughter's hair as well. Now, I have one daughter living in the home with me now. At one point in time, I had two, but then Kennedy was a baby, and baby's hair, you don't have to do much to it. I just had to slick it back, girl, put a little 2 pigtails, whatever. But I had to do my bonus daughter's hair. Girl, we did not have the money to be spending like that. And even when we didn't have the money to be spending like that. So I learned how to braid real quick. I learned how to do all the crochet styles, all of it, all the mini braids. Right now, Kennedy gets mini braids in her hair, but I will tell you that $100 a month is how much I was paying for a lady to cornrow her hair, which is absolutely asinine. The same hairstyle that we used to pay $25, $40 for back in the day is now $100. And it's not because it's taking any more supplies. It's simply because people are greedy. I also, if you remember the mini braids that I had when I went to the Army, the lady charged me $100 for those braids as well. And I believe it was really like $80, but then I tipped her $20. And when I really sat down, yes, I could mini braid my hair myself. It was just harder to part. It was one of the reasons that I big chopped my hair off, because it was like, how much money am I going to spend on this hair? It's getting to be a bit ridiculous, but these are the prices that we're paying simply because people are being greedy, and also because we're just being lazy. More realistically, hair braiding appointments are really like $300. So you're paying $300 however often. Like, I kept my braids in for longer than most people keep their braids in, but $300 realistically probably about 10 times a year. I totaled it off at 7 times a year here, and that is $2,520. So if it costs more, if you're getting them real long braids, it's just a lot of money being wasted. Yet you're still crying out, what's up with my finances? Why I don't have this? Why am I not financially secure? Girl, why I can't find a man that will put up with my broke behind and all of this debt that I have? You're asking all of these questions, yet you're not taking care of some of the things that have you in this situation. And I made a video for you guys about plastic surgery, about just vanity altogether. And I want you to realize that this mindset that I have to have this certain type of hairstyle, that I will pay anything to get it, is going to lead you into some very dangerous places. And I'm not going to go into that here, but I want to let you know, like, learn how to do it yourself. If you can't do it yourself, simply, you're gonna have to do without it. You're gonna have to learn that the easy way or the hard way. So again, I say all of this has really happened because people have become needy and greedy. And when I say needy, it is they need to do what everyone else is doing. That's why they're willing to pay these astronomical prices to get these things done, yet you're still broke. So I'm not participating in it. Let me tell you this. I know that the prices of a lot of things have gone up, like groceries and all that kind of stuff. But listen to me clearly. I am not saying that you cannot pay to get your hair done. I'm saying that you're gonna have to be very careful about who is doing your hair and why they're charging you the price that they charge you. Are you paying for someone else to live a lifestyle that you yourself do not live? You walk up to the hair salon, the person has a Mercedes-Benz, paid off Mercedes-Benz. They live in a house. They live in a paid off house. And here you are trying to nail with your $700 to get the newest, I don't know, what do you call those? Micro link extensions, floor link braids, and you don't have any of those things. Are you paying? Are you giving your money, your resource, the Lord's resources to someone who does not, sometimes they even rocking how you're rocking. And when I say rocking how you're rocking, sometimes you're giving money to people who don't even serve your God. You're giving your God's resources to people who don't even serve your God. Here's the reason why I no longer get my nails done. If I can't do them at home, they won't be done. Okay, because there is still dollar hair at the store. We've changed our stance, and now we want pre-stretch. Now we want certain name brands because that's what people say. There's still dollar hair at the store, though. Go to the hair store, baby, on the floor back there. There's still dollar hair. There is still dollar hair at the store. You can still take the brush and comb it out and flare it out yourself, just like we used to do back in the day. Baby, you can still burn the ends of that hair, just like we used to do back in the day. So no, the price of some things haven't changed. It's your neediness, your need to be like everyone else that has you into some of the situations. Shampoo, there's still cheap shampoo, but instead, a lot of you don't want to buy a specific shampoo. You have bought into this narrative that you need to buy this black owned, all natural, all vegan skincare lines too, but hair care lines. You've bought into all of that foolishness. You're paying for people to live a lifestyle that you don't live while you sit around broke. Because you don't want to just go to Walmart and get the, what was it, VO5. You don't want to go to the Dollar Tree and get the VO5. The same VO5 that used to clean your hair back in the day is the same VO5 that can clean your hair now. But you're so needy and greedy and you want to be like everybody else, and you'll pay for it. You will pay for it. You'll be enslaved. You're enslaved to a brand while they get all the money and you struggle. Imagine that. So how much do I spend now on my hair? Well, now that I braid my own hair again, which I love that for me. I love to even be able to say that. I'm so proud that we've come here, and for these reasons. Shampoo and conditioner. You buy them one time. If you want to buy something a bit more expensive, I will be honest with you, they have raised the price of Cream of Nature. Not too much. I believe I picked up some that was $4.99. So whatever is trending is going to be more expensive. Go get the stuff that's not trending. Mane and Tail was one that we used to use back in the day. I mentioned VO5, baby. You could use Suave. Okay, Motions was a good one. Olive oil was a good one. There's just some good hair care products that we used to use back in the day. Blue Magic Grease, baby. They sell it now at the Dollar Tree. Do not play with me. It doesn't take all that. So even if you do want to spend, like, have a set budget for your shampoo and conditioner, well, you get to use it. Like, you know how long it takes you to go through some shampoo, especially shampoo. Conditioner, now if you're wearing wash and goes, you might go through conditioner a bit, but I would use a cheap conditioner for that anyway. 2 packs of hair. I use 2 packs of hair and it cost me $8 at the most. Now you can use more packs of hair, especially if you want to do the little extending braids. But if you are the one who's doing it, you can decide how much you want to spend and how many packs you want to use. You can do that. My daughter's hair, now she just gets braids. I don't even use rubber bands. I only use at the bottom of her hair. I use the beads. Well, I don't have to buy beads every single time. The beads that I have, I bought 6 years ago. Okay, I bought it with my bonus daughter and now I use it with her sister. Okay, you don't have to keep buying this stuff. You do not have to keep up with trends. Trends have got you broke. Trends have you miserable. Step out of the trends. Do the hair yourself. And you also don't need to record every time you do the hair. If you want to do that, if you're good at it and you want to show other people how to do it, okay, fine. But try to refrain from making trends out of stuff that you have yet to get a good grasp on, okay? Because you will then become a slave to the algorithm on braiding hair. I see that a lot too. I want to speak about that. Like I said, my daughter's beads I buy one time, grease or oil moisturizer. Blue Magic, I like pink oil moisturizer, honey. We used to use this stuff back in the day. It's really not that expensive. And you don't have to keep buying. You know how long it takes for you to go through some grease? It takes a while, girl. A big bag of rubber bands. Now I actually ordered these from Amazon because the big bag of rubber bands in the store for some reason have gone up in price. I really don't understand it, but that's okay. You can order from Amazon, and to be honest, it's not that much in the store. Like, it takes a while to go through rubber bands as well. It's just cheaper if you order online. You can get like more, a big bag of rubber bands and styling combs and brushes. That's really all I spent. So there's not really a constant reoccurring cost for me to do my hair, to get my hair done. I mean, get it done as in me do it any longer. The only thing that I have to pay is time. And guess what? The same time I was spending going get it done, except this time I get to save my money. And I hope you do too. As always, if you have a question, ask a question, and I'll see you in the next video.